I really like your idea about starting with a map. Let's even try this. I'm going to create a new, let's see, I'll create a new one, a blank one, and let's add kind of a browser so we can get a little bit of context here. And then most of these sites have some kind of toolbar at the top with some kind of navigation.
Yeah.
We can assume that we'll have something like that, maybe
Sure, yeah.
along the top, and then probably have maybe your some kind of logo, some stuff like that, and then this idea of let's find your assets. This idea of having a map I really like, because it serves a dual purpose of educating people about, what is the Caribbean, where is it exactly, and also maybe highlighting some projects. So let's crop this a little bit so we're focused a little bit more.
And so you wouldn't think that it would be too complicated to maybe have that like on the front page, or would you leave it maybe somewhere else?
I would maybe have this on the front page. Have you ever seen like the
Why not? It's kind of true, yeah.
Like interactive Google Maps, like they're really easy to embed, and then you can have
and it's like an impulse, like, oh my god, I just want to click on that.
right, and I think it's really easy to make these interactive, and maybe even drop some like points on there.
That's so cool. Yeah, really, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, maybe that is good. So just sort of like, it's all here for you. Just a click away.
Yeah, I don't know, what if we even did something like this, and I don't know, where are some places that you have projects?
So we've had them in Haiti. We'll probably restart those, but the Dominican is definitely a place that we probably start basing out of as soon as possible, because there are a lot of places it's probably just not feasible right now. But actually right now it's going to be, South Florida.
Okay.
It's going to be the only thing right now, until we can restart and sort of resuscitate, other areas and places.
Okay, great. Let's make this a little smaller. And what if we had, we can color this, make it a little brighter, and assume that we have a few others here, something like this, and then let's go back to our flows here. So we want some kind of interactivity, we want some kind of social, we want to, what do we want people to, when they're kind of exploring this map, are they finding out about the projects? Are we asking them to donate? What do we want them to
I think finding out about the projects excuse me. I think finding out about projects, because again, I don't think your website should just be, for saying, hi, we're here, can you please make a donation? I think that the people who are the most successful are the people who get the story across, because they're actually saying, hey, we have a vision, we have a mission, and I think donations should come secondary. That's just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. But I think if you have a vision for what you're trying to accomplish, then the right people will show up at the right time and be able to donate. And who knows, if you have a good website, that gets passed along to a much wider audience. Whereas if you have something that is just going ahead to ask you for a donation, well, anybody can get that kind of request anywhere, right? I don't think it would necessarily demonstrate how unique or how special or how passionate you are. I think that a website should definitely reflect, I guess, just how dedicated you are. And I think anything else, should come secondary.
So if we, let's see, maybe let's point this one off to the side or something. So if we had something like this where you could have like some little like popovers so that you could kind of explore in the beginning, and then... That
is super cool, yeah. Would you, with a popover that you would just scroll over, would there be a possibility to actually put like a small picture in there?
Yes, there would. There absolutely would. I was even thinking about doing that, but I kind of wanted to keep it simple. But let's try it.
Because I feel like too much text from the get-go might scare people away. People are very spoiled these days, right?
Yes, our attention spans are
exactly. I think we've already educated them with the math, so we've done our part. We've enriched and informed. But I definitely think this is so great. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad we're making some progress already. We'll try to make this a little bit big.
I would never have had the faith to try this without you. I would have just got some like boring template. I never would have gone for the map. I would have put that as a secondary thought. Like, well, maybe we should have like a tiny, tiny map somewhere else.
Well, whoever is building it is going to have to figure it out. But I mean,
yeah.
I think this is very, very doable from my experience. All right, so from here we kind of have a rough idea about some things that we want to attract people to right away on the homepage. Do we then want to think about what else we want on the homepage, or do we want to maybe drill into what happens if you kind of dive into a specific project, or do we want to look at maybe some of the social interaction or integration a little bit more? What else should we kind of flesh out?
I'm not sure what we should use like the bottom half of this, like the first front page for. I actually wouldn't know, like...
I mean, I would think that, because what's missing here is a little bit of context, like, what is this organization about? Like, yes, I know that there's people in need in areas of the Caribbean, but if I'm going to be giving money, or if I'm going to be doing something, give me a little bit of context here. Who am I doing this for? What is this organization?
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is like, don't wait for somebody to click, like maybe add it there already, right?
Yeah, or if they're thinking about clicking, but then they're like, well, wait a minute, what is this site about? So maybe a little bit of like the kind of like about, or what we do, kind of who we are.
Yeah, very similar to what they have like down there.
Yeah, I'm thinking
like your mission statement, and then you're like how we got started, and then like maybe like I don't know, like maybe something for like volunteers, or for like the people who are actually there.
Okay. Okay, so
or who we work with. I think that's going to be probably interesting, and showing links to like maybe their pages too. I know that there's, by the way, a lot of like veterans groups who are doing a lot of disaster relief in the United States, and I think that's pretty amazing. Just like veterans from the recent Iraq War who have been working in Houston, and I think that if somebody were to go ahead and like partner with one of those kinds of relief organizations, which I think you almost have to do this day and age, because you don't want to like overextend yourself. What's really great about the kind of the new age is that I think people are really willing to partner with other humanitarian and relief organizations. I think that's definitely something that we would do, because you can't find sometimes all the doctors if you just can't find them. Like, why wouldn't you go ahead and partner with somebody who already has doctors available?
Right, it's not a corporation, and you're it's not you and
we
competitors.
couldn't keep a doctor on full-time staff. Like, let's say if we wanted to do a medical camp, we'd have to find them from some other type of humanitarian organization and say, hey, there's this place in the Caribbean, and we're happy to raise funds for it, but so I think who we work with is great. Yeah.
Okay. And then I kind of missed a little bit of what you were saying earlier about when you started talking about this section. So you said like a little bit about maybe kind of what the organization's about, who you work with, and then there was like another, like say if we wanted to have like 3 things that somebody should know about this site, like what we do, who we work with, and maybe something else, or it could just be these 2.
It could just be those 2. Maybe the mission statement I think is good. Maybe, but that's a little bit more what we do.
Yeah, we could. 2 is simpler than 3, so I would not be opposed to doing that. This would just be this kind of placeholder. We'd probably have just throw an image here, just because we really want to make sure that this is not just like a big wall of text here.
Yeah, for sure.
So and this would include so let's say this is going to be about us. It's going to be a mission statement. It's going to be some partners.
Or we could make 3. One should be, as was it Richard Branson always says, one should be like philosophy, like your philosophy. One should be your philosophy, one should be about us, and the other one should be who we work with. But I won't make you change that now, but I think that what we do could be,
I mean, we could. These could be.
They can be altered. Absolutely.
These could be and these could be separate kind of subsections, or if you really just want it to be kind of really easy, we could do it. We could do it 3 also, but about our mission statement. Let's try 3. Let's. Just because I think it's easier to skim. Once you start getting too much text in one column, I think maybe people will stop reading. So would you say it's our philosophy, a mission statement?
Absolutely. I would think it's our philosophy.
Okay. Okay, and then who we work with. Great, so we got some partners here. And then is the our philosophy, is that the mission statement? Would you put in there? Or
I definitely would.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. That's useful. Let's kind of so we have some projects here. Okay, so this See Africa, they have all their social stuff down here. So they have blog. You could maybe do some of the social stuff here. Do you want to start talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. They also have a section, if you go up, for media, which you can see there. So I'm just sort of wondering, like, they put maybe half of their blog, like, down, let's call it downstairs, but there's a lot of media, like, that's up there. So I'm just sort of wondering, like, do you kind of recommend having the social media in, like, 2 or 3 places?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, on the first page, I think you definitely want to tell them that it's there.
Have something, absolutely.
Yeah, so kind of this would be like recent kind of things, and then, when you drill down, then you're on the blog, and maybe it's yes, you can see the full list and kind of bigger pictures.
Yeah.
So we could start, breaking this, or kind of thinking about like a third section here.
Yeah. And this is so fantastic, Leon. Thank you so much. I'm having so much fun.
Oh, good.
I've been thinking about these things for months. Like, how do I restart this and that? And honestly, just kind of writing ideas down on pen and paper, it's really not the same as it is to be like, oh, wow, this could actually be super amazing.
Good. Well, yeah, I'm
So
I'm kind of a visual person, so this kind of is how I think anyway. So it's kind of
Absolutely.
fun to build it, kind of do
I
it
think you
live.
found your calling.
Well, working for the right place, I guess.
Yeah.
So okay. So maybe this lower section is kind of like you said. You want to engage people a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You want some proof that there's actually stuff happening with this group.
Yeah.
That there's.
That should be like all of the recent stuff, like all your Instagram posts, like just encouraging people to like follow you or sign up for something, or to become a member, just that kind of stuff. I'm not sure like how we might do some kind of like membership thing in the future, if even, but definitely some kind of social media awareness and invitation to at least follow us here, follow us on Facebook, do this, and like read our blog, and I don't know, like learn more about the Caribbean, and maybe forward them to those sort of like professional think tanks that really focus on what's going on in the Caribbean, like maybe a little bit more serious, or do you think just keep it light for like the front page and maybe add that under some kind of add the more serious stuff of like a think tank in the media section maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you can have,
I think
the nice thing is that you could have links to those in some of these other sections about what we do, or like if we go to this site, like the homepage, there's not too many things that are here, but then this menu seems, it's like beneficiaries,
it's a lot more in depth.
Media, there's kind of a lot more there, so so we could just assume that we'll maybe have some links to that stuff. We could do, this stuff I think is pretty standard. Maybe we can have Instagram and Twitter here, and we could have kind of a feed, thing. With some blog posts, and we'll just assume this is going to be some pictures, Instagram, maybe something like that. Okay. All right, so maybe let's think about what the sections for this site, what we want it to be. So you mentioned, let's see, so if we do home, and then is the first thing we want people to do is to kind of learn about some of the projects?
Yeah, projects, and then maybe something for like I would say like definitely a section on board of directors, but I wouldn't call it that. I don't want to call it board of directors. It just seems so like something like maybe say like our members or something like that. Maybe like, can we call it members for now?
Members, or is it like who we are? Is that kind of like, does that make sense? Or so this is, I mean,
or maybe we can make it a little bit more casual and say who's who. That might be like something that's like, I don't know, like a little bit more clickable. Or let me go, they say, oh, our team. That's what Sia says.
Oh, okay, that works.
So that's probably, yes, definitely more workable. I don't want to just be like, Yeah, I don't want to say something, like board of directors sounds a bit like intimidating, getting in trouble with the school board. So I think our team is definitely more friendly. Definitely a section for media.
And so media means like that's like blogs, and that's like kind of the social, like us
similar
in the media.
to what is going on downstairs. But maybe we can borrow things from the actual media to show real stuff that's going on in the Caribbean. Like, let's say there was an expose on 60 Minutes about Puerto Rico. Maybe having a place where the little where the things that are a little more serious can go. But again, it wouldn't be any of our publications. It would just be something along the lines of how these they're sort of these like hurricane refugees, or that kind of stuff. I mean, I know that there's a ton of media coverage from all kinds of outlets that have been covering what's going on in the Caribbean, and probably more to come as the year unfolds, or at least next year.
But yeah, that makes sense. That you guys don't need to write. You guys don't need to be the sole resource, because there's a lot of other. You can just link to other articles.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. Okay, so we could either maybe merge those together or have separate categories. I know this site has 2 separate media categories, but we can kind of think about that.
Because there should be ours and then access to other stuff that's not ours. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, there's important information, but I'm not, the person who's going to write it. It's just going to be like, here's, what CNN had to say about this most recent thing. Here's what, 60 Minutes did on the Caribbean and whatnot.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Partners. Since maybe there can be more of a longer page about partners. Just looking at the other one.
Yeah, and probably divided up into not-for-profit partners and like the business community, or like people who donate down the road, who we'd like to say thank you to so and so for this, that, and have their name there. I think that's really important.
Got it. So kind of do these as submenus, maybe, even if we don't even if they're not submenus in the navigation. That might be once you drill down. That's it might kind of be separate categories. Oops. Okay. Contact, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Let's not forget that.
All right, and then I guess just borrowing right from this again, some kind of a big donate button, maybe.
Yeah,
or
I think that would be. Okay. I think that would be really good. I just love our map. I'm so thrilled with it. Honestly, I just couldn't be more thrilled.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that seems like a good stopping point. We'll pick up where we left off in the next episode.